welcome to another episode of Drinks from Eddie Muller's Noir Bar. Each week we take a chapter from the book Eddie Muller's Noir Bar, Cocktails Inspired by the World of Film Noir, and we look at the film in that chapter and we make the drink associated with it. Today we are going to discuss the movie Woman on the Run with Ann Sheridan, and we're going to make the drink named after her, the Ann Sheridan. Now I'm going to start this by talking about Ann Sheridan. Now Ann Sheridan was a contract player for Warner Brothers for quite a while. She had some very good early films like Angels with Dirty Faces and They Drove by Night, but fairly early on they gave her the moniker the Oomph Girl, and after that she found it very difficult to get good roles. The good roles were going to Bette Davis and Joan Crawford and Olivia de Havilland, and she was getting the roles for the Oomph Girl. They even made a Warner Brothers cartoon about this and lampooned her in that. Let's take a look.
Hello, Ann. How's the Oomph Girl tonight?
Oomph, 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 oomph. Oomph.
So, it turns out Ann Sheridan really hated the term Oomph Girl. She said that oomph was a sound that fat men made when they tried to tie their shoes. Now, I'm currently dieting, but as a man who has a little bit of extra weight, I can neither confirm nor deny that I make the oomph sound when I bend down to tie my shoes. But if I was to be perfectly honest with you, I usually wear slip-ons, and if I think about it, I probably do make that sound when I tie my shoes. All right, now, moving on. The film, I first saw it when it was played on Noir Alley, and I was so impressed with it that I immediately went to Amazon and bought the DVD. What I didn't know at the time was that this film was in public domain, and there are a lot of really bad quality DVDs running around. I ended up getting one that I'm almost positive is a dub from a VHS tape, but it's in public domain, so that's legal to do. The film has been restored, though, thanks to Eddie Muller's Film Noir Foundation. He got a copy of the 35mm print and restored that, and so now there is a good copy that we can all enjoy, so thank you very much, Eddie. So, now, the story of the film is Ann Sheridan's husband is out walking the dog when he witnesses a murder. And at first he is willing to cooperate with the police because he's a good citizen. But he soon finds out that the murderer was a gangster, and he's kind of afraid of catching lead poisoning, if you know what I mean. So he runs off. Now the police show up at Ann Sheridan's apartment trying to find her husband, and they find out that she no longer loves her husband. They rarely see each other. They barely speak. In fact, about the only thing they have in common at this point in the relationship is the dog. So she sets out to try to help her husband without involving the police, and in so doing, she runs into a reporter played by Dennis O'Keefe, who agrees to help her in exchange for exclusive rights to her story. Now, the only other thing I'm going to say about this movie is that it is totally Ann Sheridan's film. She is in almost every scene, and she is really great. She is cynical, and she is sarcastic, and she is funny, and she thinks quick on her feet, and she's really excellent in it, and it makes you wonder why they didn't make 20 more films like that. So, moving on to the drink, the Ann Sheridan. It's a fairly basic cocktail. Most cocktails have three basic components. You have a spirit component, you have a sour component, and a sweet component. And the Ann Sheridan falls into that plan. So, for the spirit component, we have rum, and we have a white rum. I don't know that you can read the label, but it is Hamilton 87 White Stash. That is stash as in stash. A friend of mine recommended this, Christopher Machado. Thank you very much, Christopher. Once I heard it was good and heard the name, I was buying it. So there you go. That's what we're using today. This is not where you hide your weed. It's actually mustache. So we're going to be using that. That is our spirit component. So we are going to start with 2 ounces of our, well, we're going to start with the shaker full of ice. So let's take care of that part first. So we're going to start with 2 ounces of our white rum. And it was 1.5 ounces. And there's a half. And then we're going to do a 1/2 ounce of our sour component, fresh lime juice. So we've got a 1/2 ounce of fresh lime. And then for our sweet component, we have curacao. This is a dry curacao. Now, curacao is an orange liqueur. There are 2 basic broad categories of orange liqueurs. You have triple sec, which are a neutral spirit base, and you have curaçaos, which are a brandy base. This is a curacao, so it has a little bit deeper, richer flavor. This stuff's really pretty good. You get the orange definitely, but it's more than just a sweet orange liqueur. There's something else going on with it. So we're going to use a 1/2 ounce of our orange curacao. And there we go. And I'm going to put it in the shaker and lock it in place and give it a good shake. Okay, we're going to break this open. And unfortunately, I did not bring my strainer, so I'm going to do it the old-fashioned way. Hopefully I don't make too much of a mess. By the way, this is a Nick and Nora glass named after Nick and Nora Charles. How cool is that? Okay, and for our garnish, we have a lime wheel, which I didn't cut with the knife, so I'm just going to drop it in the side. And so we're going to give this a try. Oh, wow. That's really good. It's really well balanced. I'm getting the lime and the curacao are working really well together. You're not getting a lot of either. You're getting a little bit of the rum. This is really nicely done. So next week, we are going to go to my hometown of San Diego, and we are going to talk about a film with Lawrence Tierney called The Devil Thumbs a Ride. And the drink in that one is the Boilermaker, which I have never had before. Now, a Boilermaker is beer and a whiskey. I'm going to use my favorite bourbon. I haven't yet decided on a beer, but I love beer, so this is going to be fun trying to figure out what type of beer is going to go well with my bourbon. I'm really looking forward to that. So, from the back corner of Eddie Muller's Noir Bar, we're going to take another drink. Oomph. Oomph, 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 oomph. See you next week.